Hello G Nation, it's your host G, and we're gonna do a brand new character preview, this time for Snoop Dogg Hall of Fame. Now before we get started, if you're not already a sub on my channel, make sure to do so, as well as clicking that notification bell so you do get those notifications when I post new videos. Also, if you like the video, may as well leave a like. So, Snoop Dogg, he is a technician, as you can see on screen. We're going to see him at 5-star gold. Obviously, this is sent to me by Scopely for preview purposes. It is not my Snoop Dogg. I'll have to earn it just like everyone else once the event goes live later today. Or if it's already live by the time I post this. I don't know when I'll be posting it. Coach ability at 21,000. Red gems do 20% more damage. Blue gems do 20% more damage. I like these, coach. Super useful for a multitude of different characters. Always nice to have different color combination. Plus it makes it so if you need red or if you need specifically blue, it gives you another option. Obviously you got Santa Hogan that does 2200 to every color, but it's always useful to have a second one for all those gem damage guys. Also to note, which we'll see at the end of this video, red and blue are Dominic's gem damage for his secondary spec, so we'll see what that do for that as well later on. He's obviously meant to be with the whatever you want to call it, Voltron Power Ranger, whatever thing that get all the coaches for Dominic to make him better. He has links with the Hall of Fame, and he does have 2 gears, which we will see later. We're not gonna have them on for this. We will do a preview version with the gears. First one is all color move, start with 2 more move point, and the other one is green gem do 100% more damage. So again, we don't have the gear right now. We will try these specs with the gear after. So first moveset we'll have a look at is the Snoop Spear, 6 MP green move, deals 76.9k damage and choose a 3x2 area to swap into black gems. The Drop It Like It's Hot, 3 MP black move, deals 64.2k damage and choose 1 row to destroy. And a Dog Fodder drop, 8 MP black move, deal 101.4k damage and make the bottom 1 row into pyro gems, which will modify all gems above it into green gems when broken by you. If you got perks, you can start right away with the black with Bray Wyatt. I kind of went with not Snoop, George Steele, so that we start with the green instead, because the green will give us the black, and then we'll be able to use both black moves, and it should cycle itself pretty well. Other than that, we're going full-on green damage. We got Booker for 35% more green gem damage. We got Lex Luger for 2200 more green gem damage, and we got Santa Hogan here. Don't care about the +1 MP, we don't need it. But I do care about the 2200 for all colors. Could use also, is it a Showboat Lacey Events that add green damage 20%. Vet Cena add 15% green. So you got a couple options for green gem damage there. As far as the belt goes, I didn't even bother to put a skill plate because none really make much of a difference. Like, I don't care about the Blue Bomber. I don't care about the DX plate, because I mean we'll be destroying the old board, so it doesn't matter to have gem that break more stuff. Other than that, like, there's no green and black, plus they cycle already each other, so you don't really need. I guess I could go with something like the where is it? Like this. Whenever you break 3 or more green, make 7 black into yellow, just to get that extra cascade maybe, but you really don't need it. Like, I'd probably go with Cheap Shot, like this. Whenever you land a critical hit, reduce the damage of all your opponent gem by 50% for 1 turn. So let's put that on. And as far as the belt, it's like level 1. I got a random level 15 here just for damage itself, but doesn't really benefit me for much. I do have a maxed out move damage. I got all armor because that's the only black I had leveled up. That's gonna help with the damage from that black move that will initiate all that damage. Let's see how much we're gonna do. We're gonna go versus Tech Black. can't really face Ivar because I get the gem class advantage. So let's go versus another tech. Right, let's get our black. We're pretty connected to other blacks, so I'll put it here. Oh, nothing cascades. Perfect. Now we're gonna put our bottom row into pyros. And now we'll destroy it and make the whole board green. Let's see how much that's gonna do. And a little cascade on top of it. 1.14 million. You can kick out of that. But he did not. Keep in mind, if this was a feud though, he would very likely get out of that because 1 million doesn't really cut it for feud. They usually get out of that pretty easily. But as you saw, it filled out my green, and next round I would have been able to do all 3 moves again, and you can pretty much do consistently over 1 million every round. So that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get something that hits more than that. Alright, second spec for Snoop Dogg is a small variation of the one we just saw, because the one we just saw with the Snoop Spear actually is a 5-star move, the 3x2 that make the black. Instead, we're going to be replacing that with the Hustle Buster, 10 MP green move, finisher, deal 187, well, almost 188k damage, and choose 10 gems to destroy and pin the opponent. This is what's going to get our black back. But it is a finisher, so you don't want to start with that anyway. It's a 10 MP, so you can't really start with it. So we're going to start with the black instead, using Bray Wyatt. The rest of the trainers remain the same. Keep in mind though, since the Dogfather is an 8 MP move, if you do not have the perks for a tour or you're in feud, this will not be turn 1 unless you use double MP trainer. Otherwise, you're going to need to do a gem match to have enough to get both black going on the same turn. Let's do that. Should be fairly similar. It just doesn't cycle as well because you're losing a turn with the green move. That's a finisher. You can't really cycle it every turn, but like, since it's a 5-star move, I mean, there's no reason to use that at 5-star. But this you can use at 4-star and still get the job done, especially at 4-star. They don't even have HP, so you're just gonna walk all over them anyway, just with the black move most likely at 4-star. Still do about, yeah, 1 mil this time because we didn't have much cascade. Is he gonna get out of it? No, he's not getting out of it. So the green move was not even a factor really. But again, in feud, it would likely not be enough. But yeah, 5-star, keep it the previous one instead. This is an option for 4-star. Let's look at different moveset now. Well, actually, before we go check for a different moveset, we're gonna check another variation. Since we pretty much saw that the black moves pretty much work for themselves and get the job done, and you can use pretty much anything for the third move, except probably in feud where like I said, they are likely to get out of it, and you're gonna want some kind of cycling like the first moveset. We're gonna try to take the third move with the Gems and Juice, which is a 3 MP yellow move, deals 62.7k damage and deal 221.2k bleed damage to your opponent for 2 turns. Now keep in mind, in feuds, those bleed, it's like a truck. I don't remember, I think it's 100%, or is it more than that? Actually, let me double check. I never remember what's the actual percentage it boosts the bleed. Bleed do 100 more, but I'm not maxed here. What's the maxed? will still be 100% more. So you do double the bleed, double the base bleed damage. So that is pretty good. Oops, not event. I'm gonna go find it, or Alistair again, and we're gonna whoop his ass. Alright, so let's just go back to it. So we got the bleed, we got the 2 black move that destroy the board and make it all green. For trainers, I'm keeping break, because obviously we don't have any other way to get to the black right now. But I'm putting set here, which adds 66% more bleed damage. It will lower the amount that our greens are gonna hit for, because we're taking out Booker, that adds the 35%. But we still have Luger and Hogan adding more green. Now keep in mind again, if this was a feud, you would need a second MP trainer to get going turn 1, which means you wouldn't have set adding 66%, although you would have the perk adding 100%, so it kind of offsets it. It's actually better than 66. Let's try that. Honestly, in feud, I probably wouldn't risk using the bleed. I would probably still go with the first moveset. That guarantees me that I can cycle every turn should I need it. So we're gonna hit the bleed right off the bat. It does 367 for 2 turns, so this is gonna hit while we're pinning him. Gonna add like 700,000 damage to that pin. And then we're going to break that bottom row. I got a feeling that that second gear is going to make a world of difference for him, because it's going to double your green damage right off the bat. It adds 100% green, so that's going to be a whole different story if you get that gold one, but I mean, who will? It's going to be pretty damn hard to get. Or actually, I wouldn't say pretty hard to get, pretty expensive to get. It's technically easy to get if you don't mind selling a kidney. Alright, now let's look at something completely different. Alright, other moveset for Snoop. This time it is going to be the Hustle Buster again. 10 MP green move, finisher deals 188k damage. Choose 10 gems to destroy and pin the opponent. The gems and juice. 3 MP yellow move, deals 62.7k damage and deal 221.2k bleed damage to your opponent for 2 turns. And the Hollywood Bank Robbery, 7 MP yellow move, submission, place 8 submission gems and do 117.3k damage for 3 turns while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub gems turn into multiply gems of strength 3. Now the main issue is that the yellow doesn't make any green and the green doesn't make any yellow. So that's going to be a problem. We will use both MP Trainer to help with that. We will also, which are Steel and Kofi. We are going to use Carry so that we boost that bleed damage. And other trainer, I'm using Santa Hogan here for that 1 MP this time around. Obviously, most people won't have that, but you could use instead, for example, Drew McIntyre, which would add 1 turn to the submission, but more importantly, boost the damage of it by 50%. I kind of don't really want to have it last more turns, because I want those multiply to stay on the board, because I'm going to be relying on them to try to reload my moves, hopefully. Now, as far as plate, could use maybe the heavy machinery here. Well, I mean, we could use the whenever you break 3 or more green, make 7 black into yellow gems. That could work. Could use also the whenever you break 3 yellows, get 3 green, the heavy machination. So you could use both of those. That would work. I'm going to go with the shock the system over the heavy machination. You could also go with the All Art, which is whenever you generate 3 or more sub gems, increase your green gem damage by 100%. Purple as well, but we don't care about the purple. It's gonna be that, and what's the other one? You got also the baddest jacket, which is whenever you generate 3 or more sub, increase your yellow and black by 100%. That could work too. But I'd rather get some help with my MP. Alright, so we're gonna get the bleed out. Forgot to check how much it does with carry. 276.5. Right, now we're gonna get the submission out. Kind of want to put it on yellows and the greens. Now with the MP trainer, with Hogan, with that turn doing this, and with the perks, it does make it so my green finisher is going to be ready next turn. So we already don't have any yellows left, unfortunately. We're going to put the bleed out again. We're going to select those greens. I do want to get my yellow again, so I'm going to pick those 3. I don't need to pick more than 3. Actually, I could just pick 2 and that would work, because my sub's going to be ready next turn with it, and the bleed costs only 3. So 2 are going to be fine. My turn's going to be over anyway, so I may as well get some greens. And, well, I can get 1 extra, so let's get another yellow. $461, definitely not a big deal as far as damage go. Jeez, so I thought for a minute he was not going to kick out of that. That would have been like, what? Alright, so we're going to put the bleed out. We're going to do the submission again. Let's pick the yellows that are further down. Let's get some greens. Not a lot of greens this time around. We'll see what survives those 3 turns. Oh, what? I just realized that it turns them into green. That wasn't in the move description. Or was it? And I didn't see it? Let me check that again. Submission, place 8 submission gems and do... It doesn't say anywhere in the description that it turns them into... I'll flag that. Because it turned them into green, but that doesn't say it in the description. That kind of changed things up. Because now you can actually cycle it. Makes a lot more sense. I'll definitely... So keep it in mind, that submission move, it converts them into green. Although it doesn't say it for now, but I'll have them address it. I'll notify my fellow content creators so that they're aware. I would definitely play this differently. Now that I know that it makes me... Like, I didn't realize it the first time I did it. I thought that I just didn't select much yellow or whatever, but Second time around, I actually saw them switch to green. I was like, oh shit. Now that will get us our green. And there you go. Alright, so this probably would have ended faster had I known that. I still don't think it's anywhere near as good as the first moveset though, but it does change things up a little. Alright, let's try something else. Alright, last moveset we're going to have a look at. Variation of what we just saw. We're replacing the finisher that destroy moves with the Bull D-O-double-G. 7 MP green move, deal 89.4k damage, and it's increase the strength of your multiply gem by 3. The Gems and Juice 3 MPL move, deal 62.7k damage and deal 221.2k bleed damage to your opponent for 2 turns. And the Hollywood Bank Robbery 7 MP yellow move, submission, place 8 submission gems and do 117.3k damage for 3 turns, while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub gems turn into multiply gems of strength 3. Actually, no, that's not going to be the last. We're going to have another one after that. So now that we know that the submission actually makes green gems, which I didn't know before we tried the last one because it's not written in it, that changed things up as far as trainers. We're not going to need to put any green trainer there. We're going to put set Rollins to boost that bleed damage. And I don't need Santa anymore. We're going to put Drew to increase our submission turn and submission damage. So let's see how that is going to do. Alright, let's put our bleed. We need one match. Increase the value of them. Here's my problem now with this moveset. I increase their value, but they're not really that much more useful anymore. I could swap that, but if I swap that, next turn all I can do is increase their value and nothing else. So I'm gonna go and grab those yellows just so I can start over next turn. I think the next one's gonna be better. Because next one, instead of the bleed, I'm gonna take the move that lets you select what you destroy. Pretty much all the damage comes from the submission with this. Increase their value. Again, I can't really do anything. Can do a match here. Gave me yellow thanks to my plate. The bleed. Those are going to do a decent amount. Actually, I'm going to use them just for the damage, really. And that did it. I mean, it works, but nah. Try it with the move destroy instead. Alright, now it's going to be the last move set we try without the gear. It's going to be the Hustle Buster, 10 MP green move, finisher, deals 188k damage, choose 10 gem to destroy and pin the opponent. The Bull DOGG, 7 MP green move, deal 89.4k damage and increase the strength of your multiply gems by 3. And the Hollywood Bank Robbery, 7 MP yellow move, submission, place 8 submission gems and do 117.3k damage for 3 turns while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining submission gems turn into a multiply gem of strength 3. Now remember, this actually turns them into green even though it doesn't mention it yet. I'm assuming it will probably be fixed in the description by the time it's released. Trainers, we're going to put Kofi so that our yellow move starts ready. Gonna put Zombie AJ just so it lasts longer because I'm actually gonna be relying on that damage from the submission. Unfortunately, that means we're probably gonna lose a lot of those multiply gems, which is kind of the purpose of the green moves there. We have Santa Hogan so that any color gem will do 2200 more damage. Green is pretty much what we're gonna be looking for. And I have Drew here so that my submission does 50% more damage. And last one more turn, so it's going to be 7 turn, 176k. Let's try that out. Okay, so let's put the submission out. Yeah, there's not going to be much left. That's usually what happens when submission lasts long. Okay, we're going to increase them. Now we're going to destroy all 3 of them, and the rest we're going to pick some yellows so that we get our submission back. I'm going to use this. Obviously, it's of no purpose because there is no multiply, but it is 73k extra damage, and I'm going to reload it anyway. 4 left so far. Okay, let's increase their strength. Let's pick those 4. And yellows. This will cascade onto those 2. And he can't do anything because I always drain his MP. I cycle pretty well. It just takes a while. Do the same thing. Get rid of that just for the extra damage. The submission does do 176k every turn, so that pretty much takes care of his health over time, and he's out. Alright, definitely out of all of those, I don't know, we're at what, like 5-6 moveset by now? Out of all of those, very first one is my favorite so far. Alright, we're actually going to do the gear version or for Snoop on a different video, because this is starting to be a pretty long video and I don't really want to do a 45-minute preview, so we'll just do a second video with the gear on for some of the moveset. Now we're gonna have a look at Dominic with Snoop as a coach. Like I said, this is more for his secondary moveset, which I don't really know why anyone would use really compared to the first one. It is the diving crossbody 10 MP blue move finisher, deal 132.4k damage and choose a 4x6 area to swap into red gems. The tilt-a-whirl arm drag 5 MP red move, deal 42.3k damage and swap a 3x3 random area into blue gems. And a tornado DDT 5 MP red move, deal 48k damage and choose 4 columns to make into reinforced gems. Trainers for that, we're going to use Butch to start with more red. We're going to use Bailey so that our finisher does 150% more damage. We're going to put Snoop that boosts the red and the blue by 20%, since that's both color we're going to be destroying gems for. And we're going to put Becky that adds 35% damage, 35% damage to blue moves, here being the finisher. I do have a belt on with a blue move medal. Put cheap shot right there as well. Not really much skill play benefiting this moveset really. Let's try that. Which is Alistair. Okay, so let's get some blues. Likely gonna end my turn, because it's a pretty sizable area. Almost always does. Okay. And now a 4x6 into red. 1.2 mil. And we're done. Again, if this was a feud, that would definitely not be enough. Definitely useful trainer for him, although it's nothing that Santa Hogan doesn't already do either. So, and honestly, that's definitely not the moveset I would ever use for him to begin with. So that's pretty much it for my preview for Hall of Fame Snoop. Pretty good character overall. That first moveset was excellent. Main issue is that he just doesn't pack enough of a punch to be really part of the meta. A million is really not going to get you nowhere in feud anymore. Even 1.5 often is not going to be enough to get them down. So he kind of suffers the same fate that most Hall of Famers do, as in they work pretty well, but they just don't pack enough of a punch to be competitive or anything. So he gets released later today, or already is, depending when I post that. Thanks for watching, and if you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. If you have any questions, ask them, and if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. G out. Ciao.